The last little while I was thinking about the peace of God and how it is so wonderful that within ourselves, the most important part is having that peace within yourself, that peace and love, and realize that, you know, the turmoil of the world does not need to destroy us. What we're paying attention to in the world is just what the world is. It's just normal as far as humans are concerned and the way everything is. But if you pay attention to it, like I noticed I've been off Facebook for a little bit, so haven't been paying attention to media. And I don't watch news, so I don't know what's going on in the world. And I'm pretty happy not knowing. In fact, I'm more than happy not knowing what the turmoil and crap is going on in the world. Way easier to have peace when you're not paying attention to crap. It's funny too, because God is at peace with all mankind, yet they're such in turmoil and distress and everything. It's crazy. And they're not at peace with Him. And that's just it. God's at peace with all of them. And they're not at peace with Him. And He is the Savior of all mankind, especially of believers. There's no comfort in maintaining what is not true. Yet some have claimed that God has limited Himself as to the time of salvation. Of course, we would not deny that today is a day of salvation, a day of salvation. I repeat that because, yes, it is a day of salvation. There's more days of salvation coming up. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2. And this era is limited. 1 Corinthians 15, chapter 7, verse 29. Yet God never ceases to be the Savior of all mankind. This is what He is, and He always remains faithful to this designation. Some of the Thessalonians evidently became shaken and alarmed, fearing that God's work of salvation had ceased. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 1 through 5. Yet even in the day of His indignation, God continues to save. And He does not stop until all are delivered safely to Himself. 1 Corinthians 15, 24 through 28. It is only by embracing this faithful word that fear and doubt can be removed. That God's character continues to be that of the Savior is worthy of our warmest welcome. Does it not secure and strengthen us? Yes. Even though His enemies increase and the number of the lost multiplies day by day, yet God nevertheless is their Savior. We are thus assured that what He is will someday be fully effected. All mankind will then know God in truth as their Savior. Perhaps in all the annals of human history, no declaration so deserving of acceptance has been so neglected or opposed as this, that God is the Savior of all mankind. Some among the Corinthians attacked it by denying the resurrection, its very foundation. 1 Corinthians 15:12. Today men continue to reject the reality of our danger. Death is not a friend. It is the greatest of all enemies, and it will be abolished. 1 Corinthians 15:26. From it and its sting of sin, 1 Corinthians 15:56, we must be saved. God is the Savior. That means He actually delivers us from the perilous position in which we are born as sons of Adam. These words have tremendous power to comfort and soothe our every anxiety and rejoice our dejected spirits. This is our God, the one who is the Savior of all mankind. What positive quality does He lack? Power? Wisdom? Love? No. All of these are seen in the God who does such great work as this. There's no room for failure in Him. There can be no weakness and no indifference in the one who saves all. As believers who receive God's special Aeonian salvation, we should find particular pleasure in keeping this faithful word, and even more so in sharing it with others. There's one on whom we can rely. There's a truth that will never let us down. There's a place where we go when we are distressed and filled with to be filled with satisfaction and happiness. That's our God and Father. Abba, Father. Abba, Father. This is where we go for our rescue. Faithful is our God. Faithful is his work. Faithful is his word. And faithful is the saying that he is the Savior of all. And this is worthy of all welcome. Beautiful stuff. I love sharing truth, and I love sharing the happiness of God, because the happiness of God is more important to share. You know, I found, you know, when I was going in the book of the Unveiling there, in the Concordant Commentary, that's when it stopped, in the sense of, why do I have to focus on that? Because we have a calling that's out. It's an out calling. Among the celestials, our allotment is. So to focus on what is coming as far as the tribulation is concerned, it's not our lot to do that, really. We can study it, yes. Don't get me wrong. Studying it, is nothing wrong with that. Knowing what's coming, fine. But to focus on it, no. Our focus should be the happiness of God, that he is the Savior of all mankind, especially of believers. And for us, especially of believers, this is a rare and awesome calling that we have. We are to illuminate truth and walk in peace and love. And then people will see it. You know, when you illuminate that, it comes out of you, whether you know it or not. The peace of God's there, and it's actually shining through you. That's the beauty part right there. That's the real love of God that's within us, and the real peace of God that we have. And I say grace and peace. I love you all, and we will see you tomorrow.